why is this two people's job to be the center of this program?
Well, do you think that King Charles is in charge of everything in his life?
I mean, he's the king.
So in his recent visit to the States, you think he booked the flights? And
I am very much Camilla. She's booking the flights.
he's my Camilla.
So... Greg, Alex, welcome to Bullseye. Thanks for coming out and making the time. So happy to have you on the show.
We're very happy to be on the show.
It's lovely to be on Bullseye.
Isn't
Hello.
it? Hello.
Hi, Greg.
Hello, Alex.
I can't have you guys icing each other out already.
Well, we've got natural chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
It just flows back and forth.
There's a tendency with guests from the United Kingdom to think that they've been booked on a darts-themed game show from the 1970s.
It was a big show when I was growing up, Bullseye. Huge show.
I'm a lot younger, though, so I don't know it.
It's like a drunk man, like a thick drunk man. Like he looks like a joke about a used car dealer in 1978.
Yeah.
So you're not content to just call him drunk. You're going thick and drunk.
He's thick. What you're telling your audience is there used to be a show in the UK that had a thick drunk man on it. And nothing else?
Yeah,
You're not going to mention darts?
I said darts earlier. So
Did you?
earlier I said darts.
Okay.
I think darts is covered. So it was a darts game show. And we had @Bullseye on Twitter. And we would get notifications from people who thought they were talking to the man.
Jim Bowen.
Jim Bowen.
Jim Bowen.
He's long passed away,
And
I
a
think.
very smart, sober man he was too.
He was. He was intelligent and he was slim. So maybe you should rethink your prejudice.
No, not dim-witted. Like daddy thick. Like thick body.
Thick.
Like stout.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you
Daddy
what.
thick.
I'll tell you what. Bullseye was a great barometer for it, and that's how nutrition has improved over the years. If you go back and have a look at some of the episodes of Bullseye, you'll see that, like the contestants on Bullseye, and they get asked at some point. They get asked how old they are by the host, and you're thinking 60, 70 maybe, and they're always 23, 24.
Yeah.
And they've lost most of their teeth.
They all look like they're smoking as soon as the camera is off them.
If not before.
Yeah, like they have cigarettes hidden underneath the podium kind of thing.
There was a period in this country's history where smoking was compulsory.
I'm sorry to ask you to do this, but can you two explain what Taskmaster is to those of our audience who are not completely obsessed with it?
Yes, it is a show where 5 comedians are put through arbitrary tasks created by my colleague.
Hello.
Their performances in those tasks are filmed, and then in a studio, we all watch them together, and I decide who's the best.
Alex, how did you come to this? You created the program. How did you come to this thing of making your comedian friends do weird things?
Well, it was complete happenstance. It was an accident in 2009. My wife was pregnant, and then she had a baby, which meant I couldn't go to the Edinburgh Festival. And instead, I sat at home twiddling my thumbs and came up with an idea of, at the next Edinburgh Festival, I would set challenges for 20 comedians. So I had 12 months of setting one challenge every month. The very first challenge was to put the most money in my bank account. Most money wins. And I got quite a lot of money from that. And that sort of paid for the venture. And it was meant to be this one-off thing at the Edinburgh Festival. But it was really fun, so I did it again the following year, but with 10 comedians, because 20 was too many. And after the second one, I was persuaded this might work as a TV show if someone else was to present it.
So in summary, when Alex should have been helping his wife raise their first child, he was developing this show instead.
Yeah.
Wow. While Rachel raised the child alone.
How did you get your comedian friends to do something this dumb?
Well, that was the easy bit. It turns out they are hungry for competition. Comedians like competing, but they also like showing off. And this show, I guess, combines the two of those things. So no, that wasn't hard at all. And also they were yearning for a sort of space to play in. So we give them a playground and they go out and be stupid.
But was that true even when the big payoff was going to be that they would like share something on the text chain and you would tell the story of it at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival in 11 months?
Yeah, people were very willing. So I did. They were on stage with me, and I told them they didn't know how the others had done, so they were looking forward to seeing how their fellow comedians had attacked the same thing. So it was the same principle of Taskmaster now.
And sorry to interrupt, but it's sort of is why the show works in a way. It is because the fact that comedians could, while they're doing their intensely prepared solo shows, doing the shtick that they've worked on so beautifully for decades sometimes, it's nice for them to go and be funny in a different way. And I think that's one of the things that works so well about this show is that we bring funny people on, but they can't rely on their well-honed material or their well-crafted comedy characters.
I mean, I assume that you are going to say something about the fundamental competitive nature of comics.
Yeah, I mean that's there as well, but I think it only exists in an ugly form in very few comics.
Very few young male comics,
and I can name them for you, but mainly the competition is healthy, I think.
Yeah, if anything, it's a competition to be funny rather than to win points in general.
I mean, I'll tell you, I ran into my friend Jason Mantzoukas, who was on one season ago of Taskmaster, or one series ago of Taskmaster, right before it was public information that he was on that series. And he basically grabbed my shoulders, locked eyes with me, and said, I wanted to win so bad.
Really? Wow.
Like, he was self-conscious about this. Like, he felt like he was worried that he had ruined the show by wanting to win too badly.
Genuinely, that didn't come across.
It didn't occur to me for a second that he was trying to win.
No.
Really? And that probably reflects quite badly on what he did.
Because he was nowhere near winning.
No, not even close.
But he was, we thought he just came with the mission to destroy, engulf in flames, or whatever his catchphrase was. He was an agent of chaos rather than an agent of determined to win-ness.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on that.
I love that he wanted to win, though. That's funny.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Especially, it sheds a whole new light on some of the things he did. Because they weren't the actions of someone who was attempting to win.
I think sometimes the more you want to win, the more likely you are to become an agent of chaos when you see failure at hand.
I'm going to rewatch his series with this in mind.
Yeah. But I would argue that he had made his destructive decisions pre-task. So I don't think that any destruction we saw from Jason was as a result of a temper tantrum because of his performance. I think he came in going, I'm going to mess things up here.
Well, he's the only contestant to arrive with a lock-picking set in his pocket.
Yeah, he's got a weird bag of stuff that he carries around with him, and he always wears the same clothes.
I helped him pick out those clothes.
Oh.
Did you? Well, it's a nice outfit.
A little bit. A little contribution to it. Yeah, like 15 years ago.
You did well. Congratulations.
Well, I had a real moment with Jason about that, because I think it's something that comes with age. You probably haven't quite hit the age yet.
Okay.
Where you suddenly decide to streamline your life. And I had a real moment with Jason where we talked about how it's good to lock in. I'm only going to wear these things. I'm only going to smell like this from now on. It's good.
Yeah, you do always smell the same, and it's good.
I do smell the same.
Well, I know the secret of your smell.
Yeah, and
I'm not going to share.
And I will never tell another man.
No.
Only you.
God, got to know this smell secret.
Yeah, well, a lot of men would like to know it.
It's mind-blowing because people do comment on your smell.
They do.
It took 8 years till you told me.
Yeah. And I only told you because you told me you were dying.
Shh. That's not good for the vibe of the show.
No, it was bad for my vibe as well.
I know. I mean, it's slow. It's not any time. It's not on the horizon.
I thought, oh no, am I going to have to make up the tasks now? So boring. This is the sort of stuff you wanted?
How did you figure out what kind of challenge for your buds was going to result in something that was watchable?
I guess I just thought, what would be funny? I mean, the second challenge was find a hedgehog, fastest wins. The results were that 5 of the comedians literally sat out every night looking for hedgehogs. 1 went to a hedgehog farm, whereas Tim Key, who won the task, just sent me an email immediately saying, I've got one. And so he won.
With no proof.
With no proof, but I accepted that because you kind of go, well, that's going to be funny to say.
Yeah.
After someone else has spent several nights searching for them. Some things didn't work. I think I got them to write a song. So one comedian wrote the first 2 lines, then sent the second line to the next comedian to write a line that rhymed with that. And that ended up a mess that wasn't funny. So,
songs and music composition remain an important element of the program. There is a periodic demand that someone without musical talent do a music thing.
I would hate to be that side of the task.
They're often my favourite, though.
Yeah, and you're right, because you get people who, there's someone in the next series who I can't say who it is, but you'll like them. They've never sung in public before at all, and they do in this one, and the results are brilliant. So we don't deliberately put people outside of their comfort zone, but you often get the best results when you do, I think.
When you pitched the show, was there anything to compare it to? There is like a long tradition of panel shows in the UK that we haven't had much of in the United States in the last, 40 or 50 years. But this is not really a panel show in the way that those shows are panel shows. Like, was there something that you could tell people it will be like this?
No, and this was the problem. It didn't get picked up for 4 or 5 years. It was rejected by everybody a number of times, even though Greg was on board at this point and we had a team of people ready to make it. But the problem was we wanted to have the same 5 contestants for the whole series. We didn't want to give them a script, and commissioners were worried that people would be bored of the contestants and that the contestants wouldn't be good without a script, whereas we had faith.
I mean, I don't know if it was inspiration to you, but it feels like there's a connective tissue to parlour games. I mean, you played a lot of games growing up, didn't you? And we played games in my family as well. And I think, again, that's one of the reasons why it works, is because parlour games and doing tasks with your family work because you know who the people are, you know who the personalities are. So one of the things that we love about the show is that we get to know these people over a period of weeks, and their personalities become part of the response.
But also, I guess we were influenced by game shows where you had to do physical things. There's a program called Bullseye. Have you seen Bullseye?
Yeah. It's just getting people up from behind a desk, whether it's throwing darts or doing tasks.
Yeah.
Let's get them up.
I think I've been remiss in not giving the audience an idea of what these tasks are like. Maybe each of you could talk about a task that you particularly enjoyed or surprised you, and what you enjoyed about it or what surprised you about it.
I always like the open-end. I mean, I like all of the tasks, but I particularly enjoy open-ended tasks where they can pretty much go whichever way they want to go. And Alex has done 2 or 3 now where they have to get objects a long way away from the house, and they can choose whatever means they want. And going right back to the first series, that resulted in Frank Skinner, who's a sort of icon over here, taking a big rock on a... Did he actually get it on a train?
Yeah, got on a train, but we didn't get the cameras on the train, so it was just him and me and a big rock on the train.
Yeah.
With no one there to...
There's something, something tree falling in a forest about that, which I love.
But the show wasn't known at that point, so anyone on the train just knew Frank, didn't know me, and didn't know why he had a big rock.
Yeah.
But it meant he went an hour away with the boulder, and then we had to wait an hour to bring it back. So the filming day was mainly boulder based.
One of the most memorable things is in this season.
So the task was to be brave. Bravest wins.
Your countryman decided that he would reveal an incredible amount about himself by letting Alex look at his internet history.
Yeah, this is Kamel Nanjiani, who is a dignified actor.
I mean, it takes a lot to shock us, but I was absolutely in stunned silence when, a very famous person is allowing his internet history to be read out on international television now.
Forever.
Incredibly, with his wife's blessing.
Alex, you are writing these challenges. What is one where the choices that the comics made surprised you?
I've taken all the ones that we normally say, haven't I?
Well, there's one... We do, yeah. But I do like the team tasks because then you get different dynamics. So normally, if you've not seen the show, they go in isolation and do these things one by one. But then for one day, we have them in teams. So there's a team of 2 and a team of 3, which is arbitrary and unfair, but that's how it is. And there was one where they had to run a hotel for half an hour, and I was the guest at the hotel. And various things happened. There was a fire. I demanded things. I needed a massage.
And some people will confound us by doing something so incredibly thoughtful and bizarre, like Ed Gamble sent the Taskmaster trophy into space.
It was beautiful, wasn't it?
Which turned out to be, genuinely quite visually stunning. And then Paul Chowdhury's told to get his clothes as far away from the house as possible, and he throws them over a hedge. And
that was that.
That's the end of that. So I think it's incredible how different brains will respond under pressure.
When you are doing something as dumb as the things that you are doing on Taskmaster, how do you maintain enough competitive integrity that the audience can both be like rooting for someone and getting a comedy show?
Well, I can tell you because the Taskmaster universe is absolutely where we all live for the time that we're in the Taskmaster universe. It has boundaries and rules, and we stick to them hard. You'll have seen the internet go crazy at some of the decisions I've made and get absolutely furious with me. And it's because, some of my decisions are unjust and incorrect. But in the Taskmaster universe, I am all powerful. And so people have to accept that, I know that in the real world, our leaders get it right every time. But
yeah, they really do. They really do.
On Taskmaster, I sometimes don't, but those are the rules. But we take it seriously, Alex and I. I actually think you'd find it hilarious if you saw some of the off-mic conversations we have.
Yeah.
How do you think yeah, but he didn't get the P over the line. We really do take it seriously. And I can honestly say we've never once fiddled the scores or given someone a more generous mark because we thought it would instill more competition. We play it for real.
I think that means that the comedy's funnier because, like you're saying about Jason wanted to win, they do want to get the points because they've tried really hard.
They do. I mean, sometimes filming is stopped for 15 minutes while we watch a video playback of someone pushing a duck over a hedge or whatever they've been asked to do to make sure that we're being fair.
Yeah.
When you say watch video playback, you mean like a line judge in a tennis tournament?
We don't even get to watch it. It's in the gallery that all the director and some of the execs will watch it. So we don't. We just are left on the floor going, well, we're just waiting to see what the referee
literally
says.
Sitting with the audience for 10, 15 minutes while some decisions are confirmed. Yeah, I know it sounds preposterous, but I think it's a pretty important part of the show.
Alex, why did you think Greg should be on the show, and why did you pick Greg specifically?
Well, it was definitely why did I ask him rather than why did I pick him, because there was no guarantee he was going to say yes.
Good, Alex. Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But it was a list of one name. So I knew Greg a little bit. We'd done a couple of gigs together, maybe, and we knew each other from the Edinburgh Festival.
Barely, really.
Barely.
Yeah.
But I did know your work. I knew that he was authoritative. I knew that he used to be a teacher. I knew that he has a certain height, which is not fundamental.
Funny?
Oh, sorry. I knew that this guy was a funny guy, number one. And that's the first thing I knew, was that he's so funny.
Good.
So, and then it was hoping for the best. And I'd also say, as well as being funny, good looking.
Handsome
guy.
Body's shot.
Yeah.
Face is great.
Have I mentioned how good he smells? He also had a much bigger profile than me in the television world. So it would help getting the show commissioned.
I was used.
I mean, I have to say, the first time I saw the show, the main thing I was thinking, beyond all of the unusual formatic elements of the program that I hadn't seen before, was why are there two guys? Why is this two people's job to be the center of this program?
Well, do you think that King Charles is in charge of everything in his life?
I mean, he's the king, right? I mean, he's
the
for
king.
one thing, he's in some ways a representative of God on earth.
So in his recent visit to the States, you think he booked the flights? And
I am very much Camilla. She's booking the flights.
He's my Camilla.
So
I think
the premise of this argument. Hold on, no, time out. Greg, would you agree that the premise of the argument that you're making is that while the king, he's not in charge of everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then Alex, what you've added to this, and Greg, you've agreed to, is that while the king doesn't do everything for himself, it's because his wife, Camilla,
second wife, but yeah,
does the administrative tasks.
Well, okay. What are you asking?
I'm asking, is that the premise that I'm being asked to agree with?
I think it's exactly the premise.
What I'm saying
that you're asking me to take as read.
What I'm saying is,
If the king isn't doing it, his wife is doing it.
Alex brought the wife in. What I'm saying is that the king is supported, and when King Charles gives a speech, there's often other people involved in the things that King Charles says.
Sure, Camilla.
Camilla is writing a lot of the gags.
Yeah. I think what we're saying is that in the world of British entertainment, we're Charles and Camilla.
Yeah, and I think Bullseye would have been better if Bowen had a little assistant.
You know, it's a power structure, isn't it? The authority figure will often have a sort of grovelling assistant. It's a sort of well-known historical trope. And I think that people are comforted by there being an assistant who some could argue is the court jester, who is actually, the power behind the throne.
I think the court jester often dies, doesn't he?
At the king's hands.
How did the two of you decide how arbitrary and mean Greg should be?
That's a good question.
And there is actually a serious answer.
But we're not going to give you it.
Thrilled to hear. If you saw the way that Jim Bowen treated some of those darts players. Yeah. I have got a serious answer to this. Here it is. This is good. This is for the show.
Right, everyone?
We did a pilot of the show. And before the pilot, Alex and I and other people sat down and we discussed the dynamic. Alex had obviously asked me because he wanted there to be a sort of authority figure on the show. And so we sat down and we discussed how Alex would be this sort of fawning assistant. And then there would be this sort of strict, almost unreasonable authority figure. And I think, I played a very angry teacher in a British sitcom called The In-Betweeners. And I certainly had him in mind when we did the pilot. And I was this sort of irrational, mean person. And I was in the pilot very rude to everybody. And I knew some of them were sort of close to friends, certainly acquaintances. And they were a little bit confused in the pilot why the man they knew from the circuit was being so obnoxious. And the truth is, I overcooked it in the pilot. We got the dynamic wrong, so we had to fiddle with that dynamic a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think I laughed for the first 12 seasons, and then suddenly realised I could. If I found something funny, it was okay.
Yeah,
it was okay to laugh. So we're not playing characters quite as much.
But this is why commissioners of television shows should always let shows run for a few seasons. Because a lot of it gets worked out as you go along. There. Straight answer. Put that in the edit right now.
Hannah's nodding. Yeah, that's going to be in the edit.
Thanks, Hannah.
Thanks, Hannah.
Part of it is letting the audience in on some relationship of the two of you, right? I mean, I think that you two seeming like you are having fun together as friends lets the audience feel like they are in on a thing that is fun and they don't have to worry about whether this is actually secretly not fun.
And maybe that's a good reason for having two hosts, as you say, because it does mean we can relax more. Because Greg does have to do the hard work of welcoming the audience and then going into the break and then saying, what's next? But you can have a lot more fun with that when you can piss about with me as well.
Yes.
And maybe the older we get as well, the audience enjoy two older people being childish with each other, like two boys at school might be, because that's often what it is. And I think the whiter our hair gets, the more you can get away with. But I think I am dyeing it back in next season.
It's time. It's time you started.
Jet black.
it is a great opportunity to be childish. And I do often find myself feeling like a silly schoolboy. So I think that child mentality is a prerequisite for being part of this show, really. And it brings out the child in all of our contestants as well.
Why does the show live on YouTube in the United States?
I think with what's the one when you're looking back with
Hindsight.
It was quite a shrewd decision of the producers to put it on YouTube, but it was during lockdown. We just thought, we've got this really good show. It's not on American TV, so let's just put it in American houses for free on YouTube so everyone can watch it. And that's it. That's the only ethos, and it seems to work all round.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it was probably born of Alex setting tasks in lockdown as well, where we were all surprised by the amount of uptake from, over in the States. A lot of American families joined in. And,
we did a thing called home tasking, where every week I would set a task and Greg would judge it, and it kept families, to some extent, interested in life in the most boring few months.
I don't think we can take full credit for families making it through
kept the world
lockdown.
Running.
But certainly I think it brought a small amount of joy to some households, and obviously showed us the power of putting things out there for people to discover themselves. It was mind-blowingly exciting for Alex and I to walk through New York and to have the first time that we went and did a show out there, to have people approaching us and saying, I've been watching your show. We had on our first visit to the States, we had no idea how many people had found us. And I love that they discovered it rather than were spoon-fed it.
It certainly feels like a different dynamic for people to, this is a show that has been extraordinarily successful on YouTube. It's not like it's a secret, but finding it there for Americans, this thing from another country, does feel like being let in on something.
I'd also say, even though lots of people seem to watch it, it's still very culty, in terms of the actual population. But then those people hopefully really love it. I'd prefer a small population to really get into it than everyone to be aware of it and not like it.
And our experience is that the people who came to see us, in the States, the people who came to see the recent live shows we did, there's not one single member of any of the audiences we met who doesn't know more about Taskmaster than me. Every single one of them could make references to individual seasons and things that happened that I have no recollection of. It brings out a sort of incredibly passionate interest in those that do find it, which is very gratifying and also embarrassing for me when I can't remember the things they're talking about.
But yeah, you're right. Maybe they feel more ownership of it because they've discovered it for themselves rather than having it rammed down their throats by a broadcaster.
Yeah.
And through their eyes as well as their throats.
But I love that, someone can come up and remind me of a task. It's sort of lovely, sort of like I'm living life in my own care home, really. A series of strangers come in and tell me about things that happened. I go, oh God, yeah, I remember that great thing. Yeah, it's nice.
Do you think that there are culturally specific elements to Taskmaster? Do you hear from Americans about things that they don't understand, or are there things that you as Britons think are specifically British about the show?
I used to think there were, but I actually, partly because of this lovely welcome to America that we've had, I get told more than anything, I don't know any of the comedians in the show, but after episode 1 I did, and they learn about weird cultural things from the show. So even if they don't know the thing that's been brought in, if it's a weird British cartoon, it's one Google away. So no, I think it's far more humanitarian than it is British.
I think the overall experience is inclusive. We try and make this a show that anyone could come on and have a good time, and we're not out to single people out or embarrass people. They do that themselves willingly. So I think it's of universal appeal. But I do think there's something quite British about the dynamic of Alex and I, and the structure of there's a deference to authority that is quite British. You know, there are comedians who come on the show who are peers of mine and often have been going for longer than me and have a finer body of work, but their deference to authority is quite a British thing.
Yeah, but Jason fell into that as well, as did Kamel.
Yeah,
despite his aggression, he still took your points.
Yeah.
I mean, we are sat in thrones.
There's a moment like James Acaster swearing at me, and my instinct is to take him off into the corner and to tell him off, and his instinct is to politely apologise and to fall back into line. And I think that is from a bygone era.
Half of the content on YouTube is challenges, pranks. Have you guys seen this kind of stuff? And does it make you think of what you're doing on Taskmaster differently in any way?
I think we've seen it. I mean, I have 3 teenagers and they've sort of grown up with Dude Perfect, who I'm sure you're aware of.
I'm not aware of Dude Perfect, but...
They try to get basketballs through basketball hoops from a long way away, and that grew into this enormous industry where they do trick shots and then they do other videos. But I think I'm aware of it, but I don't think we're influenced.
But I do think that something that is special about the show is that even though it's a show where people make fools of themselves, that's not the design. That's them.
Yeah, actually, in the first season, we had 2 tasks in public, and so it was a bit more embarrassing, a bit more like Impractical Jokers, and it didn't feel right to us. So the rest of the time they're in this, but from now on they're in a bubble, so they don't have to feel embarrassed.
And you don't design the task to make people look foolish.
There aren't really any I've designed that I wouldn't want to do myself.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to go, oh my God, I'm not taking all my clothes off in this public fountain.
I imagine that part of why your panels are composed of comedians is that comedians are professionals at being funny and you want funny things to happen on the show. To what extent is it important that they be comedians because of the relationship that comics have with each other?
Yeah, well, so we do this show once a year, a New Year's treat, where we have non-comedians, and it's great, and it's really fun. We have a footballer and an artist and a musician, whatever, and it's really fun for 1 episode, maybe 2. But if it's to sustain 10 episodes, I think you're right. That relationship the comics have, the underlying brotherhood or something, is really important.
And the drive to be funny. I mean, we've never put it to the test. We've never done a whole season with non-comics. I would find that fascinating because, you know, we've had really funny times on the New Year's specials and people have surprised us. But it feels less of a risk when we know that the people who are sitting in those chairs, they are by design going to try and make people laugh. But there is a camaraderie amongst comedians anyway. I agree with you. You know, we've all made the decision to do this strange thing.
But what's weird in Taskmaster is that when they do the tasks, they are not with each other. They're by themselves. And they are with me. But it's not until they come to studio and have that shared experience that's when the community really kicks in. But yeah, I think it's an important part of the show.
How do the two of you feel about the fact that this may have accidentally become your life's work?
Oh.
The show?
Yeah. I mean, you've been going long enough at this point, and it's successful enough that this is your thing.
Well, I would say not on screen, but it's more my thing than Greg's in terms of hours, as in I'm at the house all the time.
Yes.
But we've both managed to keep other things going as well, which is lovely.
I think we get asked periodically over in interviews here about what it's like being in a double act. And I don't think Alex and I see that we're in a double act at all. I think we very happily come together for this show. And it's one of the reasons why this show always feels fresh to come back to, is because we're beavering away. But
even some of my kids know you more from the In-Betweeners, weirdly. And then there's other people who know you from your tour more. And I think when you look back at whatever career you have, who knows what is the thing that keeps it going. Even coming to America, it's so lovely that Taskmaster has let us spend time on stage in Chicago. Like, that's mad. And hopefully we'll be back in the nearish future. That's the plan.
When someone inevitably makes a statue of me to last the ages, if by chance that statue is of me in a black suit standing next to Alex, I'll be very happy with that epitaph.
Guys, I sure appreciate your time. Thank you so much for talking to me, and thanks for the show. It's really a wonderful show.
It was so fun talking to you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Can I check, though? Are you outside next to a wall?
Yeah, 100%.
Cool. Okay. That's been bugging me.
Yeah, we do this. Do you not have alley shows in England?
It's an alley show. That's what it is.
Do you know what will go well on that wall?
What's that?
Dartboard.
Oh.
And that's what they call in magic the prestige.